Hey, this is Led905 Zeppelin, and I'm here to show you my top 5 favourite albums. This has taken me a while to come up with. I mean, I always knew what my number 1 was, and I always knew what my number 2 was. But for 3, 4, and 5, that's taken me ages to figure out. I've been listening to these albums for ages now. Especially number 5, I've been listening to that for years because it's my dad's, and I've been listening to some of them for ages. But yeah, so I've got a good idea about them all, and I know what I like about each one and that sort of thing. So I'll just show you those. Tell me what you think, and also I'd like to know what your top 5 favourite albums are. Yeah, so let's get started. This is my favourite album of all time, Exile on Main Street, Rolling Stones, 1972. I absolutely adore this album. I just love the sounds of like the saxophones and all the other sorts of sounds playing, and it's pretty cool because in parts it's like because it was recorded in a lot of it was recorded in Keith Richards' basement for his house in France, and the sound quality is pretty bad, and you can't hear what Mick Jagger's saying sometimes when he's singing, but I don't know, I really love it. I think it just adds to the effect of the Stones. It's really rough music and coarse music, and that really does, that's what the Stones are like, that's the kind of personality that they portrayed, really. But there's some real rock and roll songs like Rocks Off and Rip This Joint, and really nice songs like Sweet Virginia, Torn and Frayed. I mean, if I had to pick a favourite, I'd probably say Sweet Virginia. I mean, that absolutely just I can't get enough of this album. Like, sometimes when I'm listening to an album or listening to a certain artist, after a few listens I just get, I want to move on to something. I could listen, if this album was the only one on the planet, I would be okay with that. Well, no, I probably wouldn't actually, but I do really love this album. There's some quite funny songs like Turd on the Run. That's quite funny. And there's some real happy songs like Happy. That's a happy song. And other ones, there's really funny ones as well. I do love this album. It is absolutely amazing. There's some, I keep on saying that, I do absolutely love this album. Quite sad songs near the end, like Let It Loose. I think that's quite a sad one. That can be quite sad at times. But the majority of the album is happy with good music. I mean, I think it is really good music. I think this album was voted 7th on the Rolling Stones 500 Greatest Albums of All Time. I mean, yeah, definitely deserves a place in the top 10. I mean, it's just absolutely phenomenal music, to me anyway. Tell me what you think about this album in the comments, please. I'd love to know what everyone else thinks of Exile on Main Street. All Down the Line is a really good song. The guitar for that, I think it's Mick Taylor playing that. He does a good job on that song. I think on this, Mick Taylor plays most of the lead, and I think Keith Richards plays a lot of the rhythm guitar and that sort of thing. I think Jagger's vocals are, pretty cool on this. I guess his American accent really good on the songs, and yeah, it's really, I don't know. I don't know what to describe why I love this album so much. Just the first time I heard it, it's just something in my brain which I just love this album. Yeah, I think this will be my favourite album forever, really. I just absolutely, I really like listening to this album. But yeah, it's a really good album. The second half of this one, this is the 2-disc edition. I don't really listen to the second disc at all, really, because I don't think that's really that good. I mean, this is my dad's actually, but I only listen to the first disc. Yeah. Rocks Off is a really good song to get the album kick. Is a really good song to kick off the album, to start off the album, whatever you want to say. And it's, I think, 18 songs. I think it's an hour and 10 minutes long, the whole thing. 69 minutes, I think. You've really got to pick up this album. I think it's a must-have for any Stones fan. I mean, if you're a Stones fan and you haven't got this album, well then I don't think you're a Stones fan. But just if you like, rock and roll type songs, and songs with quite a lot of instruments playing, and that sort of stuff, soul music as well. I think you should pick up this album. It's really good must-have for anyone who's quite seriously into music. Anyway, that's number 1. Number 2 is Highway 61 Revisited by Bob Dylan. This album, I love Bob Dylan. He's probably my favourite, on par with the Beatles, followed by the Rolling Stones. But this album is just my favourite Bob Dylan album, obviously. I mean, it starts off with an excellent song, Like a Rolling Stone. That's got to be one of the greatest songs ever written. And I love the sounds throughout this album, a lot of instruments. I love the organ. Al Cooper, I think, plays the organ. I'm not too sure the names of the people in the band, but I think it's Al Cooper on the organ or something like that. But yeah, it's all really, really good songs. I mean, Tombstone Blues, that's a really cool one. It Takes a Lot to Laugh, Takes a Train to Cry. That's a nice song. I like the guitar on that. Ballad of a Thin Man is one of my favourites. I love the piano intro to that. That is one of my favourite intros to a song. Just like Tom Thumb's Blues as well, that's a really cool one. And then the epic Desolation Row, which is just, I think apparently it's a song about people that Bob has met, and you know, he obviously hasn't given them their real names. He's given them, like, you know, alter egos, so to speak, and you know, he's basically having a go at them in that song. I think that's quite a funny way to look at the song, actually. But yeah, really good song, very inspirational music, and you know, it's Bob Dylan progressing with his electric. I mean, on the previous albums, I think there were 4 acoustic songs. He's now 4 acoustic songs. He's now put it down to just the 1 acoustic song, Desolation Row. But I don't know, I actually prefer Dylan electric, to be honest, to just him and his guitar. But anyway, I better finish on that, so I don't want to make this video too long. Anyway, 3rd is Abbey Road, my favourite Beatles album. I probably won't talk too much about this album, because you can just check out my top 5 Beatles albums, and this will be on here as number 1. Yeah, the album is filled with really good songs, love songs, happy songs, funny songs, psychedelic songs, you know, all sorts of stuff. And the Beatles playing very well together, even though, like I said before in my other videos, a lot of tension going on in the band, but they still managed to make really great music. My favourite song would probably be either Come Together or The End. I love that song, The End. Really brilliant song. But let's just move on for that one, because you can just check out my Beatles top 5 Beatles albums, and I'll put the link for that somewhere on the screen. This is Revolver, my 4th favourite album of all time. I love the sounds of this album, a lot of sounds of this album, especially Tomorrow Never Knows, with the that funny, weird noise, which I really like. And I love the piano outro to that song, that's really cool. Taxman, the little guitar bit, I think it's played by Paul McCartney, I love that. This is also my Beatles, top 5 Beatles albums, so I won't talk about that too much either. My favourites would be Yellow Submarine, sorry, not Yellow Submarine, sorry, I don't know why I said that. I'm Only Sleeping would be my favourite, and She Said, and Tomorrow Never Knows. They're probably my 3 favourites of this album. Yeah, that's all I can say. I mean, if you want to know what I think about this album, just check out my top 5 Beatles albums, okay? And then, finally, my 5th favourite album is Led Zeppelin II. Let me just try and open it so I can stand it up. Led Zeppelin II. This is my dad's album as well, but I absolutely adore this album. Zeppelin are one of my favourite bands. I got into them at a very early age, before I'd even discovered, like, Bob Dylan, the Beatles and the Stones. This Zeppelin were the first band I ever got into. Thanks to my dad. I think this album's just got so many different styles of music. There's just proper rock. There's you know, very sad bluesy music. There's rock and roll kind of stuff. There's folk, and then there's drum solos and some harmonica playing. There's a ton of different music you can find within this album. I think John Bonham, you know, the best drummer in my opinion ever. He drums amazingly, as he does on every Zeppelin song. you know, and Jimmy Page, my favorite guitarist. I think he there is so many different styles of guitar he plays: acoustic, rock, electric, even blues. You know, slide. I think he might play a few slide numbers on here, and then some folk, as I've said before, and that is I think that's just really good. If I had to pick a favourite, it'd be a Whole Lot of Love. I love the guitar riff, the intro to that, and then What Is and What Should Never Be. I really do love that song. But yeah, you gotta pick, if you're a Zeppelin fan, pick up this album for sure. This is definitely one of the albums I'll be getting on my record player. Yeah, just talking about record. I'll just talk about record player now because I finished with my top 5 albums. But just talking about record player, I should be getting quite a lot of the Beatles albums on record on vinyl soon actually, because my uncle, he's got a lot of Beatles albums, and next time I'm over I'm gonna ask for them because he said I could have them if I wanted to, so I'm just gonna, you know, drop him a hint maybe, see if I can get those, but I'd really love to have the Beatles albums. He's got 2 Rubber Souls, he's got a mono one and a what's it called? Stereo, yeah, mono and stereo one. I'll put the link for that here as well. For that video, my uncle's vinyl collection. He's also got a Bob Dylan one, The Times They Are Changing, and Quadrophenia by The Who, and I'd really love to have those 2 albums. So yeah, I've got a record player, so I hopefully will be getting some records shortly. Anyway, thanks for that. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, and please check my other videos. Comment on what you think about my top 5, and what your top 5 are as well. Okay, thanks, bye.